All right, here's Ron DeSantis setting up for a 2024 presidential run.
Appears to be just days from officially jumping into the 2024 presidential race. A source says his team is telling donors to expect a gathering in Miami next week, coinciding with the campaign launch around Memorial Day. It comes as DeSantis signs a new bill into law prohibiting state colleges in Florida from spending money on diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, also known as DEI programs.
DEI is better viewed as standing for discrimination, exclusion, and indoctrination, and that has no place in our public institutions.
The law also said state college courses cannot include a curriculum that teaches identity politics or teach theories that systemic racism, sexism, oppression, and privilege are inherent in the institutions of the United States.
Florida's getting out of that game.
This is literally censorship, by the way. Free speech, guys. The free speech defenders are censoring education that doesn't correspond to their beliefs. Real cool.
If you want to do things like gender ideology, go to Berkeley.
Meanwhile, a Florida teacher says she's now under investigation by the state's education department for showing her 5th grade students the Disney movie Strange World, which features a character who is gay.
Hey, Diazzo. I didn't see you there. Not that you're not noticeable. I just, it was just, what's up? Hey.
Jenna Barbie says she showed her students the movie as it relates to earth science and received permission slips from parents. But according to Barbie, a parent, who's also a member of the school board, reported her to the state. Florida lawmakers last year enacted what critics call the Don't Say Gay.
Unhinged, bro. Dude, that's awesome. Dude, America is such a freak show. God damn, I love that they just we're just getting increasingly more insane.
Gay law, banning classroom discussion on sexual orientation and gender identity in kindergarten through 3rd grade. Barbie says she wasn't aware that lawmakers recently expanded the ban through 12th grade.
I didn't even know it was a big deal until it was brought to my attention. These students all have one-to-one devices. They talk about these things all the time. I've shut down much worse in class. And so to me, this was it was a common theme that people talk about all the time.
And back to those DEI programs banned in Florida state colleges. Texas is now considering a similar bill.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC.
How much you want to bet that the lady that reported her to the state is probably also on top of that, a part of the conservative apparatus?
Hi, my name is Jenna Barbie. I'm the teacher that is under investigation with the Florida Department of Education for indoctrination for showing a Disney movie. I just wanted to come here and tell you my truth, my story about what actually happened. So I'm a first-year teacher and a first-time mom, so needless to say, I've had a lot of learning to do this year. So how the situation came to be, our students had standardized testing all morning. So some students didn't finish, so in the afternoon, part of my students who didn't finish went to a different teacher's classroom, and she split her kids amongst the other 5th grade teachers. So due to the fact that they spent their morning state standardized testing, I had a lot of students not in my room who typically are, and I had another teacher students in my room. I thought it would be a great time to give them a brain break by showing a movie that related to what we were learning about in school. Other 5th grade classes did this as well. So I want to bring up...
Yeah, learning about in school, you mean homosexuality? You better stop it now. You taught them about homosexuality. You need to go to jail. And of course, there it is. Shannon Rodriguez, the woman who fucking reported this mom, teacher, is also a part of Moms for Liberty. I was right. This Karen snitch apparently is, as a matter of fact, a part of the, a part of a conservative think tank. How crazy. Anyway, let's get back to the truth.
bring up the issue that I'm in trouble for. I was told by every teacher and mentor at our school that our method for approval by administration of showing movies was to have a signed parent permission slip for PG movies. I had that from the beginning of the year. The whole 5th grade team had signed permission slips for PG movies with no objections to specific content. I actually had one student who did have objection to specific content, not showing the Buzz Lightyear movie, but she wasn't in my classroom anymore. So,
dude, they objected to the Buzz Lightyear movie, dog. Dude, the American Conservative Project is awesome, dude. It's fucking so fire. I love this. I mean, how can you not love it? These guys went from like at the top level, they're undermining civil liberties, right? Like they're literally fucking stopping, they're criminalizing abortion, they're stopping women from having bodily autonomy. But on the ground, the conservative movement is like, I don't want my child to watch Buzz Lightyear. Okay? It's so pathetic. It's so stupid. It's what you fucking argue about when you have nothing real to argue about. I heard the parent objected on the grounds that it was flat. It was spherehead propaganda. It was globehead propaganda.
It wasn't a big deal. The reason I was turned in is because one of the split students was a school board member's daughter. That school board member is currently on a rampage to get rid of every form of representation out of our schools. She even spent days this past week going to all the high schools to get rid of anything that had to do with representation whatsoever. She even had admin escort her to a teacher's classroom that had a sticker of a black hand and a white hand holding hands, and the white hand had a different color fingernail for every finger. So the school board member called the Department of Education on me for indoctrination before ever coming to our school to talk with me or admin about the situation. When she did come to our school, she came as a school board member, and our principal said, no, you can come as a concerned parent, but then you need to schedule a meeting. So she did. She came, and later that day, and admin was in and out of my room, pulled me out, and we had a meeting, and I understood her perspective that, okay, she really doesn't want this shown at her house. I never saw that perspective before, so I didn't think it was a big deal. But seeing how upset she was, I told her I understand my lesson. That's that. But come to find out, she had already reported me, and there was nothing she can do about it. So I chose this movie because it relates to our curriculum. Our unit at the time was Earth Science and ecosystems and how they interact. Plants, humans, animals. So this movie is perfect. My thought process was, what a better way to showcase all these standards, along with huge lessons of overcoming differences, spreading kindness, communication, and chasing your dreams, a lot of which are in our social emotional Florida Best standards as well. Is a character in the movie LGBTQ? Absolutely. Is that why I showed it? No. I have a lot of 5th grade students who have come to me this year, long before showing this movie, talking about how they're part of that community as well. And it's not a big deal to me, so I just said, okay, that's awesome, do you.
How dare you!
Not pushing any-
She's a communist! Oh, arrest her. Arrest her now. She admitted it! Oh my God! Throw her to the fucking pit! She's a gay communist.
Anything, just being accepting. That's what I do. Does that have anything to do with why I showed it? Not in the slightest. The LGBTQ aspect of the movie, they're harmless. It's just a talked about crush, and it's only a couple lines in total scene time of just over 2 minutes. The parents in the movie kiss a lot, and that wasn't even brought up, and that's the issue. I also want to bring up the fact that none of my students cared or batted an eye. They didn't even know this was a big deal until the board member and the state made it a big deal. They're using it against me, saying they're protecting the children and it's for their safety. But what is this actually showing them? Their teacher showed a movie to help them connect to our curriculum and learn some valuable life lessons. But the minor representations that have nothing to do with the movie are such a big deal that now admin is in their room pulling their teacher.
Wait. Isn't it you did this on purpose to set up a court battle? Bro, I don't think she was doing this on purpose. Okay? You want to know why? You want to know why I don't think she was doing this on purpose? Because it's such a fucking idiotic reaction. It's such an idiotic reaction that I don't think she suspected this reaction to happen. There are teachers who probably would do this on purpose, like, purposely showing, like, that you're queer in the classroom. You know what I mean? Shit like that. Deliberately. And they should do that, by the way. Fuck them. Like, fuck the administration that would, like, ever arrest them for that kind of thing or criminalize that kind of thing. But this doesn't seem to be that. This doesn't seem to be a deliberate act of protest. It literally seems like something that no sane human being would ever fucking react to in this way. So I don't even think she actually thought that.
Out, calling the students one by one down to the office to interrogate them in the middle of my lessons. And now there is an investigator from the Florida Department of Education coming to pull my students out of class again to investigate them individually. And by the way, they don't even have to have a signed parent permission slip for that. This investigator is allowed to come and pull them out, and a letter got sent home to some of the students, but I doubt a lot of my parents are even going to get it. And if they don't call and object, the interrogator is allowed to just pull them out. Do you know the trauma that is going to cause to some of my students? They are fifth graders. Some of them can barely come up and have a conversation with me and are just getting comfortable with me, and now an investigator is allowed to come and interrogate them? Are you kidding me? What is that showing them? This is the public education system, where students from all backgrounds, cultures, and religions are welcomed and should be celebrated and represented. I am not and never would indoctrinate anyone to follow my beliefs. I will, however, always be a safe person to come to that spreads the message of kindness, positivity, and compassion for everyone. That is the key to the safety for our children. That is the key message that everyone needs to find in their heart and understand.
They fucked up so big. Dude, she's telegenic. It's absolutely fucking insane that she's like under fire now for doing something that is like so innocuous. If the Democrats don't make this like a national fucking news story, I don't know what to tell you, okay? Because this is a very real consequence of the deliberate attempts to censor certain aspects of existence in society. And that is how normal people react to it. They're like, what the fuck do you mean I'm in trouble for showing a Disney movie? Like, suck my dick. It's insane.
I was taking stuff off the walls the other day, and I had a student come to me and say, Miss Barbie, why are you doing this? And it's because of the new law that was put out about everything being standards. And I said, well, this is what's happening. And they said, why don't we get a say? That's a good point. Why don't you get a say? If you haven't seen the Disney movie Strange World, I highly recommend it. And for those of you who are throwing hate my way without knowing me or my true intentions, you may learn a thing or
She's still doing it. She's still saying, watch the homosexual movie. Arrest her.
or two from that movie. Follow your heart. Find the compassion. Find the kindness. It's the key to a better, positive life. Thank you.
Absolutely unimaginably psychotic. Like, imagine going after a fucking teacher that's making like 30 grand a year because she showed a fucking Disney movie that was related to the subject matter that she's covering. I don't know what to tell you, man. This country is fucking absolutely out of control. Oh, here's Florida state officials are weighing classical and Christian alternative to the SAT. Jeremy Tate, the CLT's founder, told the Herald that the SAT had become increasingly ideological. Florida officials have been holding talks to use CLT as an alternative to the SAT. They want to, I mean, this is like an ad. Every part of capitalism is supposed to be commoditized. So, like, this is what they're doing. They're, like, trying to commoditize culture wars here, okay? That's what they're doing. Like, some fucking, some con man grifter decided, oh, this is a good opportunity. Let's say that the SAT is woke and gay. And I'll sell, like, a Bible version of it. Bullshit. Complete bullshit. Jeremy Tate, the founder of told the Herald that the test was intended to be an alternative to the SAT, which is administered by the College Board and has long been the standard at U.S. high schools for students. It had become increasingly ideological, partly because it censored the entire Christian Catholic intellectual tradition. What? What is the entire Christian Catholic intellectual tradition? Tate was working as a high school English instructor when he came to the conclusion that transcendent moral and ethical ideas had been gutted from the classroom, with high-stakes testing becoming a part of the reason. We're thrilled. They like what we're doing, Tate told the Herald. We're talking to people in the administration again, really almost every day now. DeSantis has not specifically mentioned the classic learning test, one of the sources he had in mind for the SAT alternative. Wait, what is... Okay, this doesn't give any information or insight into what the classic alternative is, though.